Well, for me, Jaeger was an exciting experience, specifically because it's the first time that we brought together the social scientists, the economists on one hand, and the natural scientists on the other hand, across Europe with regard to this Mediterranean problem. I have received is certainly a much better understanding of what is really going on in the Mediterranean, because people tend to think that this climate problem is just the same everywhere, but this is not true. How fast is sea level rising? Where is this a problem? What can you do? You need to go into specifics, being able to learn about these specifics, and also being able to learn about what we do not know, because there are many things that we simply do not know. For me, this was very useful because then I can try to imagine policies and can try to design measures to address the problem. So that's, I think, what I got. Well, perhaps the sentence, what they got, I hope, is a sense of what is relevant and what is not relevant for solving the practical problem. Because most of the things that you do research on in natural sciences is really not very important if you want to solve the practical problem. I'm not saying you should not do this research, but it is important to understand the difference. Yes, if you're careful enough. So you really have to reinvent this each time. But it's like improvising in jazz music. After you have improvised many times, it's easier to improvise the next time. But I think it's very dangerous to believe that there is any recipe for this. It's a creative process. Well, look, the question of how this Arab Spring relates to climate policy and sustainable development is a very serious question. And I'm not very optimistic. I think we have a huge opportunity, but also a huge responsibility. The problem is clear. In Egypt and Tunisia, and these are the only places where so far this movement has been successful, the new governments have tremendous problems to deal with. And they are under such pressure to somehow get going with the new regime that it's very difficult for them to pay a lot of attention to this climate business. I believe that it is possible to link climate policy with other policies. For instance, you can work towards sustainable tourism, which is very urgent and important, and then you can link it with adaptation. Or you need health policy anyway, and then you can link it with climate policy. But if you do climate policy as a separate thing, I'm afraid this will simply not work. And in these countries, I believe that we, let's say the Europeans, because I am from the northern side, we have a real responsibility to help these people and to invest. It is possible, but it will not be easy.